Hi, my name's Sohail Shah. I'm a director at the Luxury Collective, and we're based in the Golden Diamond Park. Pre-owned luxury watches are popular all around the world for various reasons. In my opinion, they're great investments, and also the luxury watch market around the world, there's various constraints that allow customers to buy watches directly from Rolex, Patek, Richard Mille. They're very sought after, so they come to companies like us who can provide those watches very quickly, and they're great birthday presents, great anniversary presents, and long term they bring a lot of good memories, history, and overall they're great investments. So luxury watches are a great investment. It's like buying any asset. If you buy stocks and shares, luxury bags, luxury cars, anything which is high value, depending on the marketplace, it's always going to be a good investment long term. So these top three luxury brands have the highest return of investment. Initially Patek Philippe, then AP, then Rolex. In our opinion, these are the best three brands to invest in. In terms of fake watches, we only sell 100% genuine watches. It wouldn't be worth our reputation, not only in Dubai, but certainly globally, to be involved in the selling of fake watches. So they're 100% genuine and authenticated. On the initial inspection, there's a pretty good chance, because we're all experienced traders, that we would know 90% that the watch is fake. You can tell by the weight, you can tell by the writing. We would use a magnifying glass. The writing's not sharp. Around the dial, you could tell with the printing is what we call slightly off. Even if you look at the winding of the mechanism, you can tell. But even further beyond that, if we weren't happy or not unsure, we would take it to our watchmaker. He takes the back off the watch and then inspects the mechanism. What you've got to be really careful of these days, they are super clone copies, who the watch will look good, feel good, very looks real, but when you look at the mechanism, it's fake. So the most expensive watch that we've sold was a few weeks ago. It's an RM52. It's the black edition with a skull, and this sold for $1.2 million to a client abroad. It's one in so many few that I've made in that watch. The most sought after branded watches, I would say the mainstream would be Rolex. Because a lot of clients want Rolex. It's a very popular brand, and if you look at what's really kind of clever that Rolex do to make people want them, is their marketing is very clever. So the most affordable watch that we have in stock, we've got Cartier, which is around 5,000–6,000 dirhams. We have Tudor, again, similar. And then we have Rolexes, which are older Rolexes. They also come without papers, but they are fully authenticated. And again, they're around the kind of 20,000 dirhams, 25,000 dirham mark. But these watches are all available and more affordable. So one of the good reasons for buying pre-owned watches rather than brand new watches in today's market can depreciate very quickly in value. It's a bit like buying a luxury car from a car showroom. If you drive the car out the showroom, the price drops. In a lot of cases, pre-owned watches are pretty much the same. There's a lot of pre-owned watches where you may want older years, maybe 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, and they'll suit the budget of the consumer. In our boutique, we have the service of offering consumers to have their watches authenticated, even if they've not bought the watch from us. If they're wary of the validity of their watch, they can bring it to us at a cost, and we would authenticate that watch with a certificate, and it would make the consumer feel more comfortable. We also we take watches on consignment. If a consumer wants to give the watch on consignment, it's in a very secure location. We agree the value between both parties, and then we agree X amount of the time frame. So it could be 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever. And then we as soon as the watch is sold, the money is returned back to the client. We decided to come to Dubai personally from a personal opinion. I've always wanted to move to Dubai for the last 30 years. Never really had the opportunity. We feel the way Dubai is progressing, the growth in Dubai, the economy, It's growing all the time, and we believe it's a place for luxury goods to really be valuable here. And geographically, where Dubai is based, I think it's a very, very unique location. It's very cosmopolitan, very multicultural, and it's a beautiful place. So I think it's ideal for luxury watches.
My name is Khalid El Sayed, and I'm the co-founder here at Timepiece 360. So Timepiece 360, we've been dealing in pre-owned luxury watches pretty much since 2016. We started with proof of concept. We raised money and really started doing it properly in 2018. And kind of fast forward to today, we are 3 business lines. So we're kind of TP360, which is the buying and selling of pre-owned or pre-loved luxury watches. And this is the core of our business and something we've been doing really since the onset. So we offer to buy watches from customers or consign, so sell them on their behalf, and once we've sold it, we pay them minus our commission. Demand for pre-owned luxury watches, not just in the UAE, globally, has really been on the rise, in particular since COVID. COVID created a sensation with luxury watches, fueled by different reasons, probably more reasons than we can go through today. But what we've seen really since then is an increase in demand for luxury watches, which is really reflected in the number of people now who buy and sell luxury watches. We've seen a big growth in that in the last 2 years. What's maybe changed also is the profile of people that have been buying luxury watches. So when I look back maybe at 2016 and look back and today, the type, let's say the demographic, let's say, of people buying luxury watches has really evolved. And that's been fueled by the demand, that's been fueled by social media, and it's been fueled by many things, which obviously is a good thing for us. I think overall, even the primary market for luxury watches has grown over the last few years. So ultimately, yes, I think demand has been growing, it will continue to grow. What may change over time is the level of growth. Having said that, if you look at the trend of watches over the last 20, 30, 40 years, yeah, there's an upwards trend which had a blip over the last few years. If you look at brands like Rolex, just because it's popular, Rolex has a tendency they increase their prices every year, 5 to 7%. So in theory, if you buy a watch and you keep it for 4 to 5 years and you look to sell it, in theory, you should, after 5 years, you should look to make close to your money back. But that's never a rule of thumb. It depends on the demand of the watch. It depends whether it's in production, whether it's been discontinued. It depends on whether you looked after the watch. Does it still have the box and papers? So there are many, many factors. So with anything, there's always challenges with any industry. And the pre-owned industry has its fair share of challenges. I think the biggest challenge facing the pre-owned industry today is authenticity of a watch because of the demand. So there are certain brands and models which are high in demand, which opens up then this notion of authenticity and playing with the watches. How to spot real from fake watches, okay? I'll give you the straight and honest answer. You have to get an expert to check it. Our home is the UAE, and UAE provides us with what we believe is to be an exciting and a fantastic opportunity. First and foremost, the UAE probably is, as a destination, let's say take tourism, is up there amongst the top in the world. So you have a steady flow of people coming and leaving all the time. Which is for us as a business, it's fantastic. And people always link Dubai for shopping, right? So when people come to Dubai, they want to come and they want to shop. So attaching ourselves to that is fantastic, right? So for us, tourism is a great contributor to the growth of our business, the growth of the UAE itself.
My name is Kamil Sofia. I'm the general manager of Watch Trade. It's a specialized company in pre-owned watches in the UAE. We have different kind of demand on watches, on pre-owned watches in the market. It is first collecting the rare watches that are rarely available in retail store or produced in a very limited capacity or quantity. And then you get other special watches that are linked to occasions such as, for example, the Moonwatch that went to the space, or the Rolex Submariner that's used in the missions in the deep water, etc. And then there is the third kind, which is the investment watches that are again, for a certain reason, they are not available. If the production capacity is very low, these watches grow in value. So, if a person gets his hand on one of those watches, it is considered to be a good investment for him. Watches collectors, they don't obtain these watches to sell it and make money. Mostly they obtain it because of a hobby. It's something they like dearly, and the investment part is true. They want to keep value of their money. Before COVID, the industry had, I would say, very stable demand on watches, being an accessory that they like to buy. But then during COVID, because in my opinion, and based on some readings I did, the purchase power of people get a bit higher because of maybe them not being able to spend on traveling or on the usual activity they spend on. Popular brands are mostly the high value brands. We have a trinity, we call it the holy trinity of watches in the industry. I would say Patek Philippe is one of the best brands. Of course, the ranking is subjective. It's not like based on statistic or I would say Vacheron Constantin also is one of the best performing brands. I would say Rolex is one of the most stable brands. I want to add Omega. Omega is a great brand also that compete. Now, each of these brands has high performance models and the slow performing models. And then mostly in watches, we always try to buy watches in good condition, I would say, because there's many watches that has a lot of scratches. It's very hard to, or dents, it's very hard to acquire. We look for watches that has a certain history. So if, for example, the purchase, I would say, invoice is available, that will be better. It will make us feel more comfortable to take the watch off. We have good way to spot a fake watch through the examination we do, the test we do on the watch. So basically you got serial numbers all over the watch, on the bracelet, on the parts of the movement, on the casing itself. And with experience you develop your own skills that shows you, for example, how to spot a fake Rolex. Rolex had already some areas that they focus on when producing the watch. And those areas, that's something you can directly check on the watch itself. The watch itself is an object for people to enjoy. It is something that related to their personality, their activities, something they like, something they love, and it is something for people to use. Now, I would say if you want to treat the watch as an asset, yes, it keeps a certain value, of course. Dubai is one of the main hubs of watch industry for many reasons. Being Dubai, as we all know it, the safest place on earth. The healthy economy, I would say the constant development of the city, the charm of Dubai plays a big role. So many people comes to Dubai not only to buy a watch, Dubai get people who are interested in tourism or in investment or even in lifestyle, and that for sure will benefit every single industry in Dubai.